Okay, now we're moving from next-gen mobility and AI innovation over to something important for all of us, sustainability and the circular economy. And here to tell us more about this next segment here on the main stage, I'm happy to bring up associate from Plug and Play, Monica, welcome.
Hello, hello. Welcome. So right now we are going to switch the mood a little bit. We've been talking a lot about innovation, why it's needed, how do we get it, etc. However, what's important here is that usually innovation comes from some sort of a challenge, a problem that we would like to solve. And it happens that in the mobility sector, we have quite a lot of problems. And sustainability is one of the big key things that we need to discuss more often. So one thing that is really bothering me is that when we look at the end-of-life vehicles, there's a lot of waste that nothing is done with that. We're not dealing with that very well. To give you the numbers, only 19% of plastics coming from the end-of-life vehicles is actually recycled. The vast majority, so over 80%, is wasted, either incinerated or is just landing on the landfills, and nothing is done to that. I think this is scary. This is really bad, not only for the environment, but also it's a huge waste of resources. So European Union wants to do something with that. And yes, we hear that often, that European Union is slowing down innovation, is slowing down Europe. We are not as competitive as the United States, for example, or China. But in some cases, I think that it's really important to look and dive deeper into sustainability. On that note, if you haven't already, please go and check the Pure Cycles booth. Today, they're presenting a very exciting POC done together with Madison. This is exactly one of the solutions that we need for the future of sustainable automotive sector. Why it is important and why do we care? Firstly, because very soon we're going to have a very new regulation coming again from the European Union. The numbers have been changed a little bit. So at the end of last year, they updated the numbers, and the goal is that within the first 6 years of introduction of new regulation, 15% of the end of the new plastics coming from the new cars will have to come from the recycled resources. And then within the next 10 years after the introduction of the regulation, 20% of plastics in the new cars will have to be recycled. In both cases, in both of those numbers, 25% of these recycled polymers will have to be from the closed loop. Well, how do we do it? Again, come and check the Pure Cycles booth. However, we also need to highlight that these solutions are important. One of the key factors is that polymers, their prices are very strictly binded to the oil prices. We know what's been happening this year with oil prices. This is not very sustainable. It's very hard to predict the prices of polymers. So again, this is one of the reasons why it is important to also try to close the loop within the polymers market. And with that, I would like to